Hello friends, I am Saket Pansal and in this video I am addressing 11th January 2016 PMP exam changes. I am getting frequent calls, emails where aspirants are asking how their preparation should get changed in order to be ready for new PMP exam. The good news is the PMBOK 5 still remains the reference. The complete content is still based on PMBOK 5 and the material you might be using, the reading material, the video material is 100% relevant. Yes, there have been some addition in the tasks which is a role definition study outcome, and we would be talking about them in this particular video. If I look at knowledge area impact, in PMBOK 5 we have 10 knowledge areas. If I look at the tasks and map them to a knowledge area, hardly 4 knowledge areas are getting impacted. So why I'm using the word hardly? Because communication and stakeholder management knowledge area has a good overlap. If I divide them, then only the 4 knowledge areas are getting impacted. Project integration management and stakeholder management are the one which kind of covers the complete change which is coming in PMP exam because of role definition study. Let's get into the project integration management and the initiating related task which has been added in role definition study. This task first, which talks about emphasizing on identifying key deliverables based on business requirement. The task 7 focuses on conducting benefit analysis. And task 8 which has been added is talking about generating an agreement and ensuring that everybody in the stakeholder community understand the intent of project as explained in the project charter. Now primarily these tasks and these changes are focusing on pre-project initiating activities. In general, many of the content or many of the tests which you might be taking for your PMP preparation, they don't get into the details of what happens before project get initiated. Many content believes that project starts when the project manager gets charter. Project charter creation process could be an independent process. Now these tasks, the PMI study has observed that good number of project managers are involved while the business case of the project is getting discussed, while the feasibility, while the key deliverables of the project is getting discussed. And considering those involvement in the coming exam, you may see questions which are related to identifying key deliverables. How do we solve a business need via executing a project? How the business needs get mapped to the project and how the project charter carries those key deliverables which get communicated and broken down further in the project life cycle. So those kind of questions can come in near future. Conducting benefit analysis. Now many of the content, many of the books were already taking care of this part of it. We were talking about benefit economic model of identifying a project. We were talking about constant optimization method of identifying project. So identifying which project out of many should be picked, calculation like internal rate of return, net present value, all those may still remain relevant, and we may see a bit more questions related to that area. Developing in a common understanding among the stakeholders. So it's more about a project manager must understand the need, the benefit this particular project will deliver, and he should have an engaged attitude towards ensuring that everybody in the stakeholder community understand, especially the key stakeholders understand the intent of project as given in project charter. So this is what, when we can think of that initiating related tasks may impact your preparation. Now you may think, okay, what do I need to do to understand all these 3 tasks? What should I read? So from my perspective, I would recommend you may go through a business analysis practice guide which is published by PMI. It is free of cost available to you for a limited period of time. That particular practice guide is primarily intended for a PMI-PBA certificate, but it has a need assessment domain which primarily deals in pre-project initiating activities. If you are our customers, in our learning system, we are adding videos which would be taking care of need assessment, the identification of business need and doing steps which are needed before reaching to a project charter related area. So if you are our client, don't worry much about it. There are few small videos which will help you to navigate this part of change. Let's take the second process group, planning process group. So out of planning process group, the task which got added is emphasizing more on engaging, involving stakeholders. And in my view, this is not different. The current project stakeholder management plan, the complete attitude of the project stakeholder management knowledge area, where the engagement with stakeholder was already emphasized. So for me, this is just a reiteration that stakeholder engagement is going to be a key area when you deal with the questions in your PMP exam going forward. Consider more involved and engaged approach with stakeholders. So there is no direct thing which you need to read. It's just a matter of understanding that in order to make project success, you need to have good stakeholder engagement. And this is something which is coming again and again in our executing process group changes as well, where the new change is talking about that you need to have a healthy relationship with the key stakeholders, and you need to have an effective communication methods, effective and efficient communication method with the stakeholders. So if I look at from a test taker point of view, it's again reiterating which is already there in project stakeholder management knowledge area, and it is reiterating that stakeholder engagement is going to be the important aspect in order to make projects successful. Final, the controlling area, and controlling area has two interesting tasks. First task is lesson learned from start to closure, which is primarily focusing on emphasizing of lesson learned from the beginning till end of the project. And the other one is procurement plan should be compliant with the overall project objective. So let's look at the first thing. The current approach of phase closure, project closure was also reiterating that we should be closing phases as well rather than just closing projects. Now, when this particular task is coming under monitoring and control, the difference which can be understood is rather than delaying learning to a closer process group, be it phase, be it project, while we are doing regular monitoring and control throughout the project, we need to keep learning from our mistakes, learning from our good practices. So there should be a continuous awareness in project managers where they keep learning throughout the project life cycle. So you may expect such kind of questions where even the output which is coming from, say, a monitoring and control process gives you an idea that how should you learn, how should you change your upcoming planning or upcoming processes. So some kind of questions which focuses on more adapting based on the project learning. Procurement plan should be compliant with the project objective. So this is again implicitly was already there when we were doing control procurement. It was more about ensuring that the thing which we have planned to outsource is remaining aligned with what is needed in the overall project. So if I look at the complete changes, now many times if you talk to a PMP aspirant, they are not even aware of that some role definition studies and some kind of a tasks are there which somebody has to look into beyond PMBOK 5. If you just prepare using PMBOK 5 and if you are good with your PMBOK 5 contents, there is almost certainty that you will make good scores in your PMP exam. Now, having said that, since PMI have been talking about these changes, so I believe the primary change area could be a area which you should be looking into before project gets started. So initiating part where you are doing the need assessment and say evaluating various projects and identifying which one you should go with, maybe the area where you should practice more questions and study about that particular area.